Hello and welcome to Learning Factory and this tutorial series on pandas. So in this video, we are going to answer the question how to create pandas series using numpy functions. So you might be knowing what is numpy. Numpy is a Python library used for scientific computing. It provides support for large multidimensional arrays and matrices with a large collection of functions to operate upon these arrays. It also has functions for working in domains of linear algebra, Fourier transform, and so on. There are several ways to create arrays in NumPy, and using these methods it would be possible for us to create pandas series. So to use pandas and NumPy functionalities in this Jupyter notebook, first thing that we will be doing is we will be importing the respective packages. So import pandas as pd and import numpy as np, right? So we have imported now these two libraries. Now let's see the first way of creating the series. So here we will be using numpy method linspace. So what this numpy method does is it returns the number spaces evenly with respect to the interval. So we need to provide start number, which is optional, which is the start of the interval range. Default is 0. Then the stop number, that is end of interval range, and the number of samples to be generated. So let's see now how we can use this linspace method to create the pandas series. So let's try to create a series between the numbers 1 through 10, right? And we'll be using the function linspace. So series 1 is the object that we are going to create, and we'll be using pd.series, which is the method to create the series, and we'll be using this numpy functionality np.linspace, and the parameters those we are providing, we would like to generate the series between this interval 1 to 10, right? And we would like to generate say 5 samples. So third parameter here is the number of samples to be generated. Okay, so we are going to generate 5 samples in the range 1 to 10 or in the interval 1 to 10. So let's try to print the series and see what we will be getting. So see here, we'll be getting the series of type float, and here we have generated 5 numbers: 1, 3.25, 5.5, 7.75 and 10 in this range 1 to 10, right? So remember, both these numbers are included. Now let us try to see what happens if we change this third parameter, right? That is the number of samples generated. So if I provide here the value 6, then in this range 6 numbers are being generated. See here, and these numbers are evenly spaced, right? So this is how we can generate a series using linspace method of numpy. Now let's see the other way of creating numpy array and using that how to create the series in pandas. So we are going to create now the series using numpy.random method, and this will create an array of values between two specified elements. So this arrange method returns an array with evenly spaced elements as per given interval. So this interval is half opened, meaning whenever we are providing the start and end values or start and stop values, the start value is included in the array, but the stop value is not included in the array. And the third optional argument that we may provide is the step size of interval. right? So let's see how we can use this arrange function to generate the series. So let us try to generate the series in the interval 0 through 8. So if I would like to create the series in 0 to 8, let us see first how this numpy and arrange function works. So this np arrange requires the parameters like the first start value and the end value. So as we want to generate the numbers in this range 0 through 8, right? If I provide here 8, then 8 will not be included. So if I want to include it, I need to provide here 9. So in this way, it is possible to generate the array having the start value 0 and end value, that is 9 minus 1. So 9 will not be included. Okay. So let us see how it generates the array first. So this numpy arrange function is giving us the values from 0 to 8. Okay. I am not using here the third parameter, that is the step size. So by default the step size is 1. Okay. Now I am using this function to generate the series in pandas. So what we will be doing here is, see here, series number 2 we are going to create. So pd dot series, and then we'll be providing this numpy function so that we can create this series, and then we are going to print this series 2, and let's see the output. So see here, we are having here now the series, okay, of the values between 0 to 9. So 9 is not included, right? So this is how we can create the series using numpy arrange function. It is possible to provide the step value over here. By default it is 1. Okay. So it is possible if I would like to provide the value, step value as 2, then see here how I am getting the series 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. So beginning from the start number 0, I'll be having increment of 2, right? And I'll be getting this series. Now I'll be demonstrating you how to create a series with the values those are drawn from some normal distribution, right? So we are having in numpy the function np.random.randn, right? So what this function does is, this function creates an array of specified shape and fills it with random values as per standard normal distribution. So standard normal distribution is usually a Gaussian distribution, right? So using this function, we are picking up randomly few values, right? So we need to provide the shape in parenthesis as the argument. So if we would like to create 5 random numbers, we'll be providing the shape as 5. So what will happen is, if the argument is positive, then the array is filled with random float numbers sampled from univariate normal distribution of mean 0 and variance 1, right? So first of all, let us try to see what is the output of this function. So see here, if I am using this function with 5 as the argument, then I'll be getting 5 randomly drawn values from the normal distribution with mean 0 and variance 1, right? So if once again I execute this, I'll be getting some other random values. So number of times I execute this cell, I'll be getting different random values, right? So this is the way how we can generate random values from standard normal distribution with mean 0 and variance 1, right? Now using this, if we would like to create the series in pandas. So once again we'll be using this series method to create the series, right? So we'll be using this time normal distribution from which we'll be getting random values. So here we would like to have 5 random values. So we'll be creating the series like this, and let's print here, print series 3, right? So see here what I'm getting. So I'll be getting a series having the data type, that is floating point numbers, and 5 samples. So we'll be having 5 numbers in this series, right? Now this random function actually picks up the random numbers from a normal distribution or Gaussian distribution with mean 0 and variance 1, right? If we would like to generate a random distribution, okay, with specified mean and variance, it is also possible in numpy. So we may use numpy function, that is np.random.normal, and here we may provide the parameters like mean of distribution, standard deviation of distribution, and then size, which is the integer value, the number of samples to be generated. So here will be, say, let's say if we would like to provide some new value, that is the mean, then suppose mu and sigma values, that is the standard deviation that we would like to have, are say 0 and 0.1, then we'll be using here the numpy function np.random.normal with these 3 values, mu, sigma, right? And with this normal distribution having these parameters specified, if we would like to pick 5 randomly generated values, then we can get 5 random values using this normal distribution. Okay, now with this, if I would like to create the series, then I'll be using the function like series 4 equal to pd dot series, and in parenthesis I'll be using this normal distribution which provides me 5 random values. So see here, let's print this series number 4 and we'll see what we are getting. Okay, so we are once again getting 5 randomly picked values from this normal distribution with mean 0 and standard deviation 0.1. If I would like to generate 10 values, it is also possible. So see here, if I provide 10 here, then I'll be getting 10 random values from this distribution, right? So these are several ways to create pandas series using numpy functions, right? So with this, I would like to conclude this tutorial session. So thank you very much for watching and wishing you happy learning. Please do not forget to subscribe this channel and press the bell icon so that we can reach out to you whenever the new videos are posted. Thank you.